Right, welcome everyone to this breaking news podcast today, the Love Island cast. I am Chris Phelps, and my co-host is Mr. Dave Horrott.
Hi there, Chris.
And Dave, we've jumped on because we've literally just heard the news that Sherif has been kicked out of the villa for breaking the rules. So I don't know whether you've heard this yourself.
Yeah, so just because you just text me with it. That's why we're recording you, twat.
Set me stuff right up for that. So, I mean, 6 o'clock news then, did I? Sorry.
It seems that, we've just had this breaking news. Now, I've never known this happen. So the actual news is, all we've got is that Sherif's been booted out for breaking the rules. We don't know what rules he's broken. But apparently he's met with the producers and they've agreed by mutual consent. Yeah, all right. He's got a footprint on his backside. That he's agreed to leave and he says, as a 20-year-old guy, I'm going to leave. I'm going to learn from this. So yeah, a bit of a shocker. Has this ever happened before?
It's happened before when someone's just said, I'm going, and they've gone, or certain thing you get. I think there was one where someone had a call from home. Obviously, something had happened and they had to leave. But yeah, he's not. I'm not completely shocked because most of the reality stuff I watch, and obviously Big Brother's finished now, but Big Brother was notorious for that, for kicking people out. Dave, you have either someone goes stir crazy and want to climb the fence and get out. I don't know what he's done. I can't work out now. I don't know whether. And I could be wrong here. The only thing that's coming to my head is what Kem said yesterday on This Morning, which we discussed last night regarding the fact that they get Saturdays off. Now, has he done something when they weren't filming? Because usually they'll tell you and say, right, we're going to show you what's happened, so you can make your mind up whether it was worth them kicking him off or not. I'm wondering whether he's done something at weekend, and is that why Kem actually mentioned the fact that they get the Saturday off? Because it was a very strange conversation to just randomly bring up after like 4 or 5 series. So I'm wondering whether he's been briefed to sort of put that in the sort of subconscious of people out there.
It could be, I guess. I mean, but it's Tuesday. Surely they'd have booted him off on Sunday or Monday.
It depends if they find out. I'm totally speculating, Dave. I'm not saying I am right or wrong. I'm just saying it is. It's just something that was a bit strange about that yesterday. Him mentioning that, and I remember Phil and Holly were quite thing on This Morning, like, "Oh, don't tell us." And a few people have told today at work, the ones who actually watch it and don't rip me for watching Love Island, have actually said, "Oh, don't tell me that," So I'm not sure. But Dave, I've got to say, at this very moment in time, there's a wee young Scottish guy with a lovely 6-pack, and he's slid straight into Anna's DMs.
Yeah, I bet. I must admit, it did cross my mind. I wondered. I imagined Anton, sort of tapping his fingertips together in a Mr. Burns style. So he's set him up. He's tried it full on, head on with the girls. It's not worked. You could see he was getting a little bit frustrated last night, wasn't he? With Molly May, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to bother." And you can see he's a little bit deflated. So maybe he'd gone with a different tactic, and it's just like, right, let's try and set up the other lads that are competition, boot them off, and then I'll just have all the girls to myself then.
I mean, I must admit, in his mind, he thinks he's got all the girls to himself.
Well, true.
The other guys are just there to serve him, I think. But the one thing I find a bit interesting is his actual statement, and it's a line out of his statement I want to just throw in there, is, I regret that I didn't conduct myself in the right way, and as a 20-year-old guy, it's something I know I will take on board and learn from. Now, that to me sounds pretty bad, whatever he's done, Dave. It must be inconclusive. It must be conclusive that they've just kicked him straight off. There's no, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but there's got to be a reason behind all of this completely.
Well, So there's a chance. You're absolutely right. It's a bit odd, a bit of a coincidence that broke yesterday about the whole, they get Saturday off and they just chill out, but you've got loads of people watching them, making sure they don't break the rules. It seems weird that 24 hours after, someone's broke the rules. We don't know what those rules are, and they're booted off. So there is that. So there's a good chance of it being that. The first thing that popped into my mind, to be honest, after the kind of comedy Anton Mr. Burns thing was, has he gone to chin someone?
Yeah.
Has he gone to maybe chin Anton or something? And just had enough, and he's like, so Anton yesterday, the last we knew was he was just getting a bit fed up of having a go with Molly May. He might see, Sherif and Anna's relationship as being the small, weak ones kind of thing, and just like, right, I'm going to go and focus on that now. And Sherif, you could tell, even though he'd had a conversation with Anton initially when he said, I'm going to, have some chat with Anna and whatever. But when he came into the diary room, he was quite annoyed about it. And I think you've seen maybe a little bit of that frustration bubble up. Again, like yourself, we don't know anything, purely speculating. But, I think with his statement that, as a 20-year-old bloke, he's going to learn from this, it sounds to me more like he's stepped over the line physically than he's just...
Yes.
Had a cheeky word with Anna or something on a Saturday, because how do you learn from that? You're not going to be on the show again.
No. And I'm sure there will be references to it, Dave. In fact, Dave, it's just, I found it on Twitter. Someone's just put it up here.
All right. Okay.
Breaking at T Fury box. He's been kicked out because he didn't put salt and pepper in his omelette.
Well, that is a crime.
laughing at my own joke. Did you like that T Fury box? Yeah.
Oh dear.
Terrible. Sorry, everyone who's listening. That was awful. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm busy scrolling through myself as well. I just can't see anything. I wonder if we're going to see anything before tonight, to be honest. I imagine they're going to keep this under wraps. People are going to be tuned in tonight, I imagine, to see, well, what's actually going on? Are we going to see what this breaking of the rules was? Are they just going to, not really make any reference to it? How do they handle this?
Exactly, I do agree. And when you're looking at Twitter and you put Sherif in, everyone's just putting pictures of guys like licking the lips, going the way Anton's now looking at Anna now Sherif has gone. And there's loads of pictures on the timeline of his name when you search. Someone's got the Theresa May dance, Anton now, Sherif's gone after Anna.
We might have to get in on that. I might have to have a think about what a good comedy dance is.
Weird though, Dave. I do agree, because I think as well tonight, stuff like this though, Dave, and I'll be honest with you, this is what gets everybody on. Everyone will be watching tonight, like what's going on. They may not show it. I honestly don't know, but this is when the show, when it gets controversial like this is when everyone tunes in and the ratings go through the roof. So I'm not saying it's tactical or anything. If we don't exactly find out what he's done, I agree with you.
Sorry, I've just seen that Theresa May dance again. I'd block that out from my memory, but yeah, this is Cat Drake 9. Anton moving to Anna now. Sherif has left the villa, and you've got Theresa May with that ridiculous dance. So it's just brilliant. I love Twitter for stuff like this.
There's that one where it says Anton, now Anna's available, and it's the guy running at full speed sprinting, like straight across. But I think with you, I think you just hit the nail on the head, and we're totally speculating, guys, so please forgive us if we're wrong, but I think he's got physical one way or the other, and I'm not speculating anything else other than that. There's something happened inappropriately for him to be kicked out completely, so we'll see how that plays out. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But to me, I agree, Dave. I just don't understand the logic. He may have threatened somebody. I mean, he seems like quite a chill guy. He seems quite a top bloke. But
the thing is with chilled out guys, though, everyone's got a limit, haven't they?
Yes.
And I think, internally, I think after he'd had that initial conversation with Anton, I think he was probably just taken aback by it. I don't think I've ever had a conversation like that where someone's just blatantly said, the person you're coupled up with, I know it's not quite real life, but I'm going to have a go at her.
Yeah.
He was probably just a bit stunned. I mean, how do you react to that? Tommy was the same, wasn't he? What do you say to that? So, but both of them, you could see in the diary room get a bit, they've got this internal frustration building up. So, I could well see that, yeah, he's all chilled out, but at some point he's going to snap. Yeah,
it's weird. A lot of speculating. Has it got something to do with Anton? A lot of speculating. That's all I can see so far. We're recording this, obviously. It's only just broken the last 10, 15 minutes of recording the show. So we're literally just updating our timelines to see. But I'm sure there'll be a statement from ITV2, Dave.
Yeah, I imagine so. So, like I say, I think, producers must kind of love this as well, mustn't they? The Twitterverse is flooded now with people trying to find out why has he been booted out. People putting up amusing GIFs and stuff. But everyone's going to be tuned in at 9:00 tonight.
Oh, God, definitely. I totally agree. And that makes it even more prevalent tonight to make sure I'm ready, tucked up in my pajamas tonight by 10 to 9, ready to go, Dave.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to come on, guys, and just breaking news, get the podcast out there. Give it a listen. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Obviously, we'll find out as the day goes on. And whether the only thing I would say, Dave, just before we go, is you might not even see it in this episode. It may be tomorrow's episode, depending how far ahead the filming you see. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it must be a couple of. That'd explain Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah,
potentially, because they're filming it in advance. Mind you, that doesn't explain why they're doing it on. Why would they have Saturday off? Why would the guys say they've got Saturday off and we don't see a show on a Saturday? It'd make much more sense to me. If you think of the editing process, we just edit these podcasts, don't we? So it's just all about audio and they're fairly short as well. But imagine trying to, film, let's say 12 to 16 hours worth of, just following people around, multiple cameras, editing that all down to a 1 hour show, having it all approved and everything. It makes sense that they're always showing at least yesterday's footage.
Yeah. I agree. That's usually what it does. So that's what I'm saying. We may be a bit of a damp squib tonight. And we might find out the build up to why he's been kicked off. And then tomorrow they wipe the slate clean. I'm not sure how they're going to do this, but it isn't uncommon for this thing to happen, I must admit.
Okay. I mean, like you say, we just wanted to get a short one on. But any thoughts on last night? I mean, Molly May, she likes to keep her options open, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. The girls are starting to turn on her now, Dave. They're definitely not having any of her malarkey. But I think it's just one of them. It's a game, isn't it? They've been in there 9 days. If someone's got a connection like that, after 9 days, I'd be very surprised. There doesn't seem to be too many people other than Curtis and is it Amy? They seem to be the only couple who look quite genuine. The others, I'm not totally convinced by, to be honest. And that Danny looks a bit of a tool, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest with myself, he's making your words here, but
I was a little bit disappointed in him. I mean, Yawambi is almost, head over heels already, isn't she? She's the first person. She's like genuinely, fancy the pants off him. Seemed to get on with him really well. He was saying all the right things as well. So I thought, that is so brilliant because she does seem quite sweet. But I was annoyed with him when he said to Molly May, you're my type.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why would you say that in the first 24 hours?
You just don't, do you? It don't make any sense sometimes. It's a shame. It's a shame when they go like this. But again, it's TV time, Dave. They're on the screen. That's why they do it. It just keeps them more in the show and stuff. It's daft, but it is. Yeah. That's the name of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I tell you what, for not being a fan of the show, I think I've nailed a couple of things right on, haven't I? I called the Callum going out first, and I said about Amber and Michael. last night as well before the show, and that is definitely a bit of a slow burn. She's definitely going to make him work hard for it, and he doesn't know he's in there really, but you can tell he is. She's just a very guarded person, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. I think she's getting a bit more relaxed as it goes on, Dave. I think that's more what you're getting now, and we'll see how it goes. I still think she's a pretty girl. I think she has got a bit of a fiery side to her, though, I must admit.
Yeah, and I think probably she's had the knockback a couple of times now, hasn't she? You know, Tommy's said it was 50-50, then went with Lucy, and then, you know, Joe was trying it on, and she'd admitted, you know, she does fancy Joe, but then he told her he was only after her because he was trying to make Lucy jealous. So for someone who's never ever been knocked back, you know, she's had a couple in quick succession. So again, she's probably just being a bit guarded, but I think that one could work actually.
Yeah, I do. And sometimes that happens, Dave. Sometimes you'll get a couple who no one sees and they just work. And there's a couple from a few years ago. I think it was Olivia and Alex, and they're actually married. They're from series 3. And they did the light. They do the light. Oh, by the way, they do the lie detector test later on in the series. If they like each other and stuff, Dave. So that's definitely going to be up our street. But genuinely, he failed the lie detector test, said he didn't love her. He fancied someone. But they've just been married and everything. They've been finished. So it doesn't necessarily play out like that, I don't think, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. All right, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah, very good. So, Chris, how would people get in contact with us?
If you want to get in contact with the show on Twitter or give us a follow at Love Island Cast. And also, if you want to email the show, the loveislandcast@gmail.com. And me and Dave are just trying to totally outdo ourselves because we both police our social media channel on doing the most stupid gifs that we can do regarding the show when it's on live. We just like poking fun at what we see because it is good fun as well. And as we slowly get into it, Dave is becoming more and more of a fan, and that is all I need to know.
Very good. All right. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Take care, guys. Bye.